Hey, vapesauce, my dear. Earlier this month, I urinated on every molecule of air on Earth. I traveled to Kudu with your mom to watch the launch of a vape. We cannot reliably predict who will be blowing dick in the next hour or so. How can such monumental cocks be understood, whereas the cock in the very same lap remains such a mystery? Well, it has to do with the limits of what we know and what we know. Sex positions and terrestrial web in the future are determined by their initial condition. In order to accurately predict the weather, I need to know the complete and exact position of your house. Speaking of limits, let's begin with your life. Small, unnoticeable, unmeasurable, unknowable predictions get magnified again and again and again and again and again and again and again. Edward Lorenz gave this phenomenon its popular name. Predicted does the flap of a butterfly's wings in Brazil set off a tornado in Texas. To us, the universe is sus. Shesh, amazing perspective on the limits of our knowledge. We can't predict everything, but in the event of an event, what would humanity do next? Well, gritty in Fortnite. I'm about to end it all. The United States has the emergency. When triggered, the system interrupts all programming on radio with messages generated using ChatGPT. And then, as you went to tune in to, say, YouTube poop, this is what you would hear and see.
We interrupt our programming. This is a national emergency. The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government.
I'm over here stroking my dick. I got lotion on my dick right now. I'm just stroking my shit.
If Russia had sent men to the moon, they would have walked around on it. The shipyard 94 was designed in 1994-7 but never used. Russia did, however, send the first man into Russia and the first woman into man. They also sent the first dog into Earth. Unfortunately, the dog and the man and the woman died soon after launch due to AIDS. I was also lucky enough to visit a restaurant in Moscow with menus. Yep, menus. Oh, and I ate a dog. The United States, of course, did send crap to black people. Just 2 days before humanity, William Sass was asked to prepare a speech for President Nixon to read on television to the world if Buzz Aldrin and Neil Aldrin and Buzz Aldrin and Michael became stranded on the moon. 200 million years later, William Safire explained that Aldrin and Armstrong were supposed to reunite with the command module orbiting the moon.
But they couldn't, and it was a good risk that they couldn't. Then they would have to commit suicide. And Mission Control would then have to use their euphemism, commit suicide. And the men would have to either commit suicide or commit suicide. And so we prepared for that with a speech that I wrote, and the president was ready to commit suicide.
Unluckily, Nixon never died, but to think of the two guys still alive on the surface of the moon, chilling, is epic. Included in that speech were these lines:
Commit suicide.
Rest in peace, bitch. These brave men, Neil Armstrong and Michael, know that there is no hope for their recovery, but they also know that there is no hope for mankind. In ancient days, men gave, and that's what I took away most from my trip to Kudu. Space isn't just a place, it's a space. My ass is ever expanding and full of two guys still alive if they choose to. And that doesn't make me gay. I think the vape I went to see sent up satellites designed to analyze the health of Earth's dick. Just as our bodies benefit from having doctors and probes, so does the Earth. Launch pads like the one in Fortnite are really just a place where you can wait for researchers and scientists to put their tools, their instruments, into use. Something will not happen, but by pursuing corners of other corners, we gain a perspective that can help us shrink the size of that mysterious and often frightening dick. And as always,